So I do youth and young adult ministry, and the journey started for me at age 14, 15. Okay. And so what ended up happening was, I was hit with the gospel, and, I had a revelation of the love of God. Yeah. And what he did for me on the cross. And so what ended up happening was I initially just wanted to share with people what happened. Like, this love is real, this love can transform lives. Yeah. Like, I was never thinking about being a pastor or a preacher, anything like that. Mm-hmm. I just wanted people to understand the gospel. And one thing led to another, and I just kind of realized there was no greater joy for me than communicating the gospel. And I wanted to do it full time. And so what my pastor actually ended up doing is he gave me opportunities. So from age 16, I started preaching and teaching. Okay. And I learned very quickly that content is only part of the communication, right? There's an art to communication. And so I've had the ability, I'm 27 now, so the last 10, 11 years, I've had the privilege to work on my craft, perfect my craft. You definitely, preaching is, it's an interesting thing. It's a humbling thing. You definitely want God to use you and God to speak to his people through you. But at the same time, you want to do your job, and you want to make sure that you're able to communicate properly his message, because you are the messenger. So, yeah.
Man, that's real. Next question is, what do you like the best about your job?
Taking people on a journey. There's a starting point and an ending point, and just the journey of bringing people along the story of God. And so I love the art of storytelling. And so for me, one of my favorite parts when I teach is just proposing a thought or a question or a problem in the beginning, and getting people to what God thinks of it ultimately, and how we should reflect that, And so watching the light bulb come on for people is definitely enjoyable, And so, and then discipling people. I really love spending time with people. I'll put it like this. What qualifies us in a lot of different avenues of life, or what qualifies us for a lot of positions, are always like your resume, your gifts. It's always like your talent, what you bring to the table. It's never deeper than that. But what qualifies you in ministry is none of those things. What qualifies you is your character. So I would say reevaluate why you do what you do, and do it from a place of being transformed by the very thing you're trying to communicate or try to get across.